lightning complex consists of 7 different counties. Those counties include Santa Clara County, Alameda County, Contra Costa County, San Joaquin County, Stanislaus County, Merced County, and San Benito County. Just a quick update on the current conditions right now is that this incident is at 339,000 acres. It's at 10% containment, and we have 1,323 firefighters fighting this fire. There have been 5 structures destroyed, and we currently have over 20,000 structures that still remain in threat. A bunch of our professionals and our leadership team is behind me right now. We're going to go ahead and take an opportunity to start with one of them and work our way down. What we ask is hold all your questions until the end, please, and we'll make sure we address your questions. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to introduce our operations section chief, Tim Mertz, with operational update.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim Marsh. I'm the Operations Section Chief for Incident Management Team number 6. Let me tell you about our incident here real quickly. As you may notice, in the title of the Santa Clara Unit Lightning Complex Incident. A complex is when we have a number of incidents that all require incident organization that's outside of what would be a single incident. So a complex, we end up combining a number of incidents. As I'm sure everyone is aware, last Saturday night and again on Sunday night, we had 2 separate bands of lightning come through the area, which ignited a number of fires. When the team arrived on scene, we had about 18 active firefights. In the course of this last week, a lot of those individual fires were suppressed by the resources on scene. A number of the other ones were thrown together into what you see here on the map. We usually will combine a number of incidents together into what we call zones. So what you may see here up on the top is what we call the deer zone. Those number of fires have all since been extinguished. We're feeling very confident about those. And we don't expect any further problem with those incidents. Those incidents now are what we call patrol status, so we're not concerned about that fire escaping any of those established control lines. As we move down to the south, a number of the smaller incidents have all combined to form what now looks like one large fire here, which we've divided into 2 separate branches. Those branches you may have heard of are called the Calaveras zone and the Canyon zone. And I just want to really quickly take you around the fire to tell you about the conditions there. Normally we see 2 active burn periods here during this fire. We see an active burn period in the very early morning hours, 3 o'clock in the morning or so, and there's some difference in the inversion layer. I'm sure our meteorologist will talk about that. We see another active burning zone normally in the afternoon. We're nearing that time right now. As the day has been heating up, we start to see some fire growth. We have not had any significant fire runs. This is a very complex area. The topography, the fuel types in here, the age of the decadent fuel, all of this combines to create a lot of really tough firefighting challenges. That said, if we look up here to the top of what we call the Calaveras zone, in this one division, this division Q, we've had a lot of active fire there this afternoon. So you may, if the sky clears, you may see some of the columns coming up off of this side of the fire. This side of the fire becomes, or has been, the most active priority zone of the fire because of the perimeter to some of the populated areas as we move down the freeway in some of the cities that are along here. There are evacuation actions that have been taken in the way of both warnings and orders along the whole perimeter of the fire, but we carefully are watching this zone with our goal of flanking the fire and pushing it away from any of these populated areas as well. The other area of the fire which continues to be a challenge to us is really the southern piece of this canyon zone. The fire continues to push down into the state park through the wilderness area, and that continues to give us a little challenge. We've created a number of different contingency lines on both sides of the fire. Those contingency lines are usually done with bulldozers that are creating lines the fire can burn through. And then we augment that usually with fire attack from tankers that are laying down retardant lines in some of those areas as well. We're continuing to watch the other areas of the fire as well that I'm not talking about right now, specifically in regards to the effect that this weekend's weather may have as it comes in tonight or tomorrow night, with potential for wind movement that could cause any movement up here. So we're carefully monitoring that, moving resources around so we're ready to respond to that appropriately. Thank you very much.
Okay, next, let's hear from Santa Clara Unit Chief, Jay Cass.
Hello everybody, I'm Jay Cass, and I'm the CAL FIRE Unit Chief assigned to the Santa Clara Unit. The Santa Clara Unit encompasses 5 counties of SRA response, state responsibility area. That's Santa Clara County, Alameda County, Contra Costa County, and the western portions of both Stanislaus and San Joaquin counties. I would like to start off by recognizing outstanding efforts of all of our cooperators. Law enforcement, all the fire departments, all of the public and private agencies that have been cooperating with us since day one of this conflagration. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the fact that this is an absolute marathon that we are embarking on. We, along with Team 6 from CAL FIRE, have recognized that we are going to need to be here in the long term. We have been messaging to all of our cooperators that we are going to have to set manageable paces because this is going to be a very long-term incident as we get through this. I want to talk a little bit about how are we dealing with the additional storm or potential lightning strikes that are coming in to the unit in all the counties. We have been working behind the scenes and collaborating with our local government, fire chief partners, law enforcement, to essentially pick up, hire, staff as many engines, volunteer companies, any equipment that's out there in these operational areas that we can staff appropriately and get after these fires that are coming in potentially with this lightning strike. The number one priority for us and this team is life safety. If you look at the map and you look at over 300,000 acres spread out, and now with 7 counties, with 2 additional counties starting to look at this incident as it gets closer, the life safety component is our number one priority for this incident. If you look at the other incidents in California, there's been some significant structure loss. We are hyper-focused with CAL FIRE Team 6 on that structure defense component and evacuations. So please, please look at those evacuation orders or warnings and listen to those. We put those out there for a reason. It is absolutely instrumental that if there are any cooperators out there that we have not reached out to or have slipped through the cracks, that we have those folks get to the Alameda County Fairgrounds to our 10 o'clock cooperators meeting. We are very motivated to wrap our arms around the public and those agencies to ensure that their needs are being met. I cannot reiterate the magnitude of how long this incident can go, and our troops are exhausted. I want to take a moment and just recognize the outstanding efforts of the troops that are out there right now. Up and down the state, out of state, different patches, people working partnerships hand in hand trying to get after this fire. At the end of the day, we will put this fire out. It is going to be a one piece at a time. The evacuation piece we cannot reiterate enough. And with that, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next, let's hear from the California Highway Patrol in terms of road closures and traffic control.
Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant George Gorey of the California Highway Patrol San Jose area office, representing the Highway Patrol here. I'm also with Lieutenant Christian Oliver and Lieutenant Rob Kazor, both of some of our closest respective areas, Dublin and Hollister Gilroy. The California Highway Patrol is currently providing traffic control assistance at different locations throughout Alameda and Santa Clara counties, and also in the Central Valley. But my role here today is to represent what is going on here in Alameda and Santa Clara counties. We have officers staged and working with the IMT team for CAL FIRE, and we have officers providing road closures and traffic control and assisting with evacuations if that comes up. So we're working with our partners with the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, and CAL FIRE. So currently right now, the California Highway Patrol officers are working on 12-hour shifts. We're on tactical alert, and we are working closely around the clock. Obviously, our troops, as well as theirs, are working long hours, and my heart goes out to all of them in these conditions out here. So it's a very obviously fluid situation. So the Highway Patrol has an emergency operations center in Vallejo that is currently dispatching our troops throughout the region. And each local area, be it Dublin, Hollister, Gilroy, or the California Highway Patrol in San Jose, is each managing our own troops. So every 4 hours, we're getting updates from our partners in CAL FIRE as to where they would like the road to close or assist with evacuations. and assist in anything else that is needed. So we're working closely with them, and I want to thank all of them for all their hard work and for having us here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Okay, next, let's hear from the Alameda County Sheriffs, and representing them is Sergeant Ray Kelly, their Public Information Officer.
Sergeant Ray Kelly from the Sheriff's Office. I'm part of our emergency management team as we've been working with all of our partners here. I think life safety was mentioned as a priority, and that has been our priority all week in working with this. I think when most people think about Alameda County, they think about an urban county, but a lot of our county is rural, and that rural parts of our county back up to some of our large cities, especially in the Tri-Valley area and down into the city of Fremont. We've already dealt with a tremendous amount of fire up in the above mile marker 10 on Mines Road, going into Santa Clara County and then over into Stanislaus County. So we've been working on that. We've been working with evacuating people and getting the warnings and all the messaging out. Some of the things we've done that have been very helpful is one was set up an animal shelter here at the fairgrounds to house the livestock and other animals up there in the rural communities to take that pressure and that stress off of those community members so that they can shelter safely and focus on their properties. In addition, our office is the Region 2 Law Enforcement Mutual Aid Coordinator in the Bay Area, and right now we're helping coordinate a law enforcement response to 6 other Bay Area counties. So a lot of law enforcement work. Our mission is life safety, evacuation, and assisting fire to get to where they need to. So I would ask that everybody stay tuned to our social media. If you get a chance, sign up for AC Alert, acalert.org with the county, and we will be able to get you timely messages. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sergeant. Next, we're going to hear from the Contra Costa County Fire Protection District, Deputy Chief Aaron McAllister.
Good afternoon. I serve as the mutual aid coordinator for Contra Costa County. The night the Deer Fire started, we had additional resources through pre-positioning that we were able to send to that incident. Again, tonight, during the red flag fire conditions, we've again pre-positioned some assets. All agencies throughout Contra Costa County have provided some surge capacity so that we can add additional assets. New emergencies don't stop, and so we're preparing for that as much as possible. That includes a dozer from Contra Costa County Fire, our hand crew, and our helicopter Conny R1 is available for new fires in the region if we were to have new starts tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, now let's hear from the Incident Commander from Cal Fire Incident Management Team 6, Chief Jeff Ike.
Thank you, Rich. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Ike. I'm the Incident Commander for Cal Fire Incident Management Team 6. All of my colleagues have well covered the information. I'll re-highlight a few things and then cover a few items of our current conditions, what the fire service, law enforcement, and all the cooperators are doing, and then most importantly, what we need you to continue to do. So, as Chief Hess and many of my colleagues to the right here talked about, life safety of the public and first responders is and will continue to be our #1 priority. If you look to the map over here, well over 300,000 acre fire in very adverse conditions, crosses over 7 counties, and now we have a historic fire on our hands, currently sitting crossing #2 or #3 as the largest fire in California history. We're dealing with this as our neighbors to the north and south also have fire conditions that are historic as far as complexity and size. So the magnitude of what we're dealing right now is extremely complex. We're challenged for resources across the state of California and the western United States. So a few things that I want to ensure that everyone understands, not only from the first responders to the public, but we are one team, one fight. I want to say that one more time to make it very clear. We need the public to stand with all of the first responders, one team, one fight. So as the fire service, we in law enforcement, we are aggressively attacking this fire from the air and the ground and enhancing our evacuation capability, as I stated, in 7 counties. That is a massive area to coordinate those type of evacuations, and I assure you, every area that's impacted by this incident, your local first responders, your fire department, your law enforcement are all engaged with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 6 and the local CAL FIRE Santa Clara unit. We are all one team, one fight. Seamless communication, the evacuations are in place. We are ready to deal with whatever challenging situations that may come our way. But the number one thing that we will focus on is life safety, and that means evacuations. I've talked about what the fire service and law enforcement are doing. Here's what we need the public to continue to do. Very simply put, heed the warning. There are evacuation warnings in order all the way around this extremely large incident in very complex rural areas, but simply put, heed the warning. When law enforcement and fire service come together in a very coordinated environment to where every agency's concerns are represented, those evacuations are not taken lightly. All of my colleagues in the fire service and law enforcement, we work through those challenges. We make sure we're doing the right thing for the best interests of public safety. We do not want to have to evacuate anyone, but under these circumstances, we will do whatever it takes as far as evacuations to keep the public and the first responders safe. So when you access, I ask that you all access your local social media. We are in 7 counties. Make sure you're signed up to receive all of the emergency notifications, whether Facebook, Twitter, reverse 911, through your local law enforcement. Keep in mind, we are involved in 7 counties. So I don't want to get too specific, but I want to make sure everyone signs up to receive those local evacuation warnings and orders notifications. So as Chief has said, we are in this for the long haul, folks, and now we have another challenging adverse weather event coming in that could push this fire in 360-degree different directions. So as we go through the next couple of days, heed the warning and follow and monitor your local social media and news information outlets. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and take some questions. Does anybody have any questions? Right over there.
Sergio Quintana with NBC Bay Area News. One of the things that we've been hearing is a little bit about the resources, manpower that's kind of coming in. Walking in, I saw agencies from Orange County, Los Angeles. Can you talk a little bit about those agencies from across the state and then others that are coming in from the country and even other countries, and what people should be prepared for as this fight continues?
Sure, in California we have a mass mutual aid agreement. So what that means is that we share resources. Anytime there's a situation like this, we share to help each other. Like the Chief was talking about, where it's one team, one fight, that's what we do in California. So that's why how we get resources from LA, Orange County that you named about. And there's another process also when we're resource deprived here in California, we reach out to our other states, our associate states, and they give us resources, and in return we do the same thing. So we're seeing that. We hear that we're challenged right now. You know, there's over 14,000 fire personnel through the state of California fighting fire right now, and a large amount of resources. And so other states are coming to help our aid, which we really appreciate.
Are they here, by the way? Have they already arrived? Have those out of state and out of country resources already arrived?
They are arriving and continue to arrive.
What's the status of the National Guard, where they were trying to train them and then ready to bring them in?
So the question was, what's the status of the National Guard?
Excellent question. We are being assisted by our California National Guard partners. We will work on getting an agency rep from California National Guard here. However, though, we can briefly speak to, so the California National Guard, like all of our partners in the state of California, we work seamless with them. So the California National Guard is being activated in several capacities. They're assisting us with fixed wing air tankers. They're assisting us with their water dropping helicopters and hoist rescue capability helicopters. And then we already have California National Guard hand crews in place, and there are currently more California National Guard and the United States military crews are being mobilized as we speak with CAL FIRE to provide the leadership and the safety component. So I assure you the California National Guard is fully engaged as a great cooperator. Thank you.
David Allen here, Mayor of Dublin. I want to say great job today. We stand with you in one team, one fight. You mentioned the long haul. Any idea how long that may be? Even a guess?
Chief Hess, would you like to join me? I'll go first, and Chief Hess, as your local unit chief, can speak to that. To put a time under a fire of this magnitude with adverse weather coming in is almost unreasonable. But there's more than just a firefight. As you know, we're using bulldozers, helicopters, hand crews. The land is being disturbed. So after the firefight's done, we have to return all of our fire suppression impacts to the land have to be returned to their normal status. So once CAL FIRE Team 6 leaves, which is indefinite at this point, Chief Hess brought CAL FIRE Team 6 in here to assist the local unit. We will be here as long as the chief needs us, but then I'll hand it over to Chief Hess. The long-term part of the recovery of this incident will go on for probably many years, and I'll hand it over to Chief Hess.
Great question. We've been prefacing at our cooperators meetings at 10 o'clock that as the unit chief of the Santa Clara unit, I brought in CAL FIRE Team 6. We were the first activated unit, and there's all 6 are activated right now. While they're here, we were going to engage with the community, landowners, while we have the horsepower of Team 6. When the fire is out, controlled, contained, and controlled, then the fire suppression repair piece starts. There will be lots of conversations, considering that we are in the era of the mega fire era, uncharted waters right now in regards to the size, the magnitude, and the scope of what does that fire suppression repair piece look like. There's another layer of the rehab piece that other agencies are going to potentially get involved with as well. There are resources out there, watershed response team resources that we've already been chatting with. And of course, there are approvals and processes and policies that need to be vetted out prior to that. We are not there yet, considering we still have folks actively fighting fire. But to answer your question, the CAL FIRE Santa Clara unit will be living with this incident for a very long time. I imagine it's going to be years of pieces and parts of whose fence has been repaired and which ranch owner needs whether water replaced or of all these pieces and parts right now, we don't know what we don't know. So that information is coming in at our cooperators meetings, and we're starting to get ahead of that now.
I was talking to a pilot at the Sunol Air Tech base, and he said that he was surprised that in August, and we still have a week of August left, that there's so much dryness out there, so much potential, that it really worries him. Before you talk about pulling out of any place, aren't you likely to be going a lot more places in the next 2 months, which are the worst months?
So if I understand the question is, do you think we're going to continue to be fighting